So in this video I'm going to be getting myself and my space ready for working in my journals and sketchbooks, and I'm going to be sharing with you the little things that I do, rituals that I complete, and tips to get you into your space and your journal and ready to start. One of the things I like to do if I'm feeling stuck is to go out on a nature walk and get my body moving. I find it evokes my thoughts and memories, and I do like a walking meditation. It's also really fun and full of joy, and it's really good to get some fresh air in my lungs. I get the tree medicine and the connection with nature, and often my partner and I have started walking barefoot on the ground as well, and I just find it really inspires my art journaling and my writing.
In my world, I don't worry, darling, I just smile, 'cause you're by my side. And now your eyes open up every morning to the love that shines in mine, and I see it in yours too. So now I sing to you, and when you go, leave me here all alone, I'll be waiting, we can make it, because I know that after all this time, you'll read between these lines, feeling fine, 'cause you said this is all you want.
So I've made a little list of things I can share with you, with tips and techniques and things like that to keep you going and to keep you inspired, and just little things I do, which are really sometimes little tiny things, but that just really make it a really special experience with me and my journals, if you like. I have been known to even sleep with my journals because they've become like little best friends. It's like a little place for me, almost like a room or a friend that I can share all my intimate things with that I need to get out. And one of the things I've noticed, that even if I'm kind of feeling fine and I'm not quite sure what I'm doing and I'm just sort of working intuitively, I know that I'm processing something, and often it's a little bit later that I might be flicking through my journal or working on the top of it or finishing it off, etc. And then I realise what the message was in the pages. So it's quite a long process for me. I think I mentioned in last week's video where, you know, I don't want to fill my sketchbooks just for the sake of filling my sketchbooks. So I tend not to rush my sketchbooks. I take my time and I work very much in layers in my artwork. So when I'm making paintings, I do many layers of paint and ink and crayons and all sorts of different materials. So I like to work even more experimentally in my journals and sketchbooks. So basically what I think I'm trying to say is that I don't rush my journals, and they take me years and years to fill. So number one, the aspect of ritual. So when I come in the studio, I really like it if I have done my tidying up routine. Sometimes I don't do it. And I really enjoy the experience of coming into my studio and my desk is clear, I can begin, and it feels like I've taken care of my space. So in that sense, I'm taking care of myself, if you know what I mean. The second thing I like to do is a sensory thing. So I like to inspire all my senses. And I think I've shown before, I really love this stuff. It's Orange Flower Water by Starchild, and it smells absolutely divine. It's absolutely incredible. I've smelled orange flower water many times, but I've never smelled one like the one they make. And it's absolutely beautiful, and you can use it. I just put a little bit on my hands and then rub it all together. Sometimes I put it on me, sometimes I put it just around in the air. It's very cleansing. It gives a really inspiring freshness, and it's good for a new beginning in my creativity. So it's really nice to use in the mornings. You can use it as a skin tonic, but you have to be a bit careful because it's a citric acid. It's orange. It's photosensitive, so it can cause damage to your skin if you're in the sun. So if it's a cloudy day, it's absolutely fine, and it's lovely to use at night. But yeah, just be aware of that. This is not a sponsored video. I just really love the shop, and I'll link their website down below. Also, I often come in the studio and I open the windows, light some incense and things like that. So really evoke that lovely sense of smell. Another thing I like to have around me when I'm making art and art journaling is my crystals. And I really love the magical elements that brings as well. So I've got like a pendulum of clear quartz, and I've always got some rose quartz and some amethyst around me as well, and often other crystals too. So another part of the ritual for me is checking on my plants and seeing if they need any water or any care, etc. They absorb a lot of the magnetic energy around me, and because they're alive, they give me a lot of joy. And also, we don't have a garden where we are because we live in a flat. So I really like to have these plants around me. So I've got these potted gardens, if you like, wherever I go. Again, they become like friends, and I like to take care of them. And they make me happy and make me feel joyful and inspire me with my artwork. And obviously I talk to them as well, which is very good for them. So another thing I sometimes do in my ritual, not every day, but I use oracle cards. So I've got these ones by Colette Baron Reid. Again, I'll link them below. Yeah, I might pick a card and then read the description in the book. So I've got starfish here. And that's really nice to do with my morning drink, and come in here and pull a card, and then I'll keep that out and it'll inspire me. And sometimes I do my art journaling pages from the card I pull as well. And then I've also got this lovely book, which is by an artist called Shiloh Sophia. I'll try and link this below as well. And it's called Tea with the Midnight Muse. And it's a book of invocations and inquiries for awakening. And I often read a lovely section or poem, or open it up at a random page as well and see what I land on. I've just landed on this page and I'll read a little bit for you. The page is all about returning to authenticity, and this is called A Regular Person, and I'll just read the first couple of verses. What if I'm just a regular person and I don't want to soar and strive? Everyone keeps saying go, 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 and my heart and mind keep saying no, 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 you're okay as you are. Maybe I am content with the day to day. What if creating goals beyond my reach makes me feel inadequate? What if saying I love you to myself in the mirror feels irrelevant? You mean I don't? I didn't know that until you told me. Anyway, I don't own many books because I'm quite minimal with my book collection these days, and I really love that book, so I will link that down below as well. The second tip I think is really, really important, which is about using what you have. So if you have art supplies that you never use, or you have things that you're scared to use because they were really expensive, or you love them too much, or they're still in the box, or brushes that were really, really expensive, use them. That's what I'm going to say. Definitely use them. And maybe on a weekly or fortnightly basis, go through your art supplies and have a look at what you don't use, and maybe pull a few things out that you can use that week in your art journals, on your experimental pages. Get using them. Have fun. I strongly suggest that we don't save things for a rainy day. Use them now. Enjoy them. Take care of them, yes, if they're precious to you, but definitely use them. And when they run out, know that you can get new art supplies. So that's what they're there for. They are actually a consumable item. They're not there to sit looking pretty in your cupboard or drawer. And also, don't feel like you have to have every art supply there is on the planet. I certainly don't. And there are art supplies that I would really, really love to use and try, and I'm sure in the future I will. But right now I'm happy with my small-ish collection, and I'm going to use up what I have before I dip into maybe some other things that are on my wish list. The third tip I have is to play. Really have fun and live in the joy. So become a child again. Live in a place where there's no judgment, no pressure, and just play. For me, art journals are a place where I can get loose and expressive. And I think it's important that we do what we love to do. My final art journaling tip today, and then I will end this video because it's probably far too long already, is to take your favourite notebook, your favourite art journal out with you, or away with you if you're going on a holiday or a trip. So you always have them with you. And sometimes if you find yourself without a journal and you've got something that you want to write down, I often use my phone and make notes, or sometimes I email myself. If I find an inspiring quote or a picture that I love, I'll save that on my phone as well, maybe on a Pinterest board or something like that. So I'm always gathering and collecting inspiration and things that I love. It's a constant process for me that doesn't stop. It's just an ongoing, organic, constant process. And I really like that flow and that freeness of expressing my thoughts, feelings, opinions, etc. in a really safe place. And if I don't want to share things, I don't need to. It's my own private, sacred little space. So I'd love to hear from you as well, to see if you've got any tips or comments or questions. Just leave them in the description box below. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great weekend. Loads of love and virtual hugs, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now. I often find when I'm making these videos that I have more things to say, particularly if they are about art journaling. So I'll just leave you with a couple of final thoughts before I end this video. So most importantly, there are no rules, and whichever way you find to keep loose and feel free is the best way. You don't need to enforce any extra rules on yourself. Also, you don't need to give yourself a title, whether you're doing craft or art. You can just call your journal whatever you want to call it, and you definitely, really importantly, do not need to be an artist in order to create in your art journal. So I hope you find some time this week to create and journal and write, and I hope you get as much inspiration out of doing that and as much joy and also support to your well-being and self-care aspects as I do from mine.
Yeah, so what I've blah 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 blah. So that's not going to be continuity. Okay, now.
In my world, I don't worry, darling. I just smile, 'cause you're by my side. And now your eyes open up every morning to the love that shines in my